This episode of the Brilliance plus Passion podcast is brought to you by Groundhog Day is an event, not a business strategy. Are you ready to finally solve those pesky issues that keep holding back your business success and never seem to go away? Embrace the power of the S.P.R.I.N.G formula that unearths the issues and opportunities burrowed beneath the surface, and grow your business so you thrive from your intersection of your brilliance and your passion. Claim your copy today at www.thegroundhogbook.com. Welcome to the Brilliance plus Passion podcast. Join us as we celebrate entrepreneurs, business creators, and brilliant minds who reveal what they are doing to make the world a better place by being part of it. Be sure to visit our website at www.brilliancepluspassion.com. While you're there, subscribe to us via your favorite network. Now sit back, lean in, tune in, get your notepad and 2 pens ready, and let's get started.
My name is Adam Homey. I'm your host, and I am honored by your wise decision to tune in and invest in yourself today. Right now, we are speaking with Pat Honiotes, who is known as, what is she known as? She's the president and chief rascal at Pat Honiotes Incorporated. So let me tell you just a little bit about her. She's a no-nonsense mentor, educator, and author who helps rascals and renegades, who are her clients, to take risks, face their fears, and build kick-butt businesses while causing a ruckus and stirring stuff up in the world. There's so much more you can discover about her. Visit our website at brilliancepluspassion.com and view her full bio, and you will be amazed. Pat, welcome aboard.
Oh, thank you, Adam. I am so glad to be here. I'm excited.
And we're happy to have you. So first question is, how does the work you do make the world a better place for your clients, customers, and the world at large? And never mind that my camera moved a little bit. Princess Alessandra's joined us. She's already spilled my iced tea, and we're not even a minute into this yet. So go ahead, take it away.
She is welcome. My whole mission, Adam, is to bring more dignity and respect to each other in the world. Okay? And the way you do that is to become the nucleus of your own life, where you can actually claim your dignity and your respect. What happens then is that the people around you, especially the people you serve, begin to pick that up. It's actually contagious. And people start embracing, reclaiming that dignity and respect. I love it.
Wow. So what is it you actually do?
My people, you already said, are rascals and renegades. They're smart, they're savvy, and they're really in tune with this kind of thing. So I can reach them through various things. So I've got some courses that I teach, online courses, things like setting and honoring boundaries, financial concept. Also have a program, a group program for 4 months. And then I also have a one-on-one 4-month program that brings this all together for them.
Fantastic. So in your experience, what are the 3 most common questions that you get from folks who are considering working with you? In other words, the FAQs.
Got it. How much does it cost?
Yeah.
How does it work? And do I guarantee the program?
Great. Now, tell me 3 questions you wish prospective clients and customers would ask you.
Okay, so this is it. How does your program differ from similar programs? How do I know this program is for me? And what am I going to have at the end of the program that I don't have now?
Wow, that's good. So at this point, let's shift gears for a moment. This is really going quick, and I am so glad for that because it gives us a little bit of time to have some fun. Let's start by having you tell us a fun fact. What is something that people who know you would be surprised to learn about you?
Wow, that's hard because I'm pretty open. I do improv. I'm getting ready to do a one-woman show. Oh, here's what they don't know is that scares the living patooties out of me.
Wow. I've been told I should do improv. I haven't actually taken a course on it, but who knows, maybe one of these days. What do you hope people say about you when you're not there to hear it?
I want them to say that while I was the low-cal coach that didn't sugarcoat anything, that I was still a great mentor and teacher. And most importantly, someone who had their backs when the going got tough and a safe place to land in their work.
Yeah. If you could go back in time and change one thing you've done or one thing that's happened, what would it be and why?
You know, I thought about this a lot, and it sounds like a fudge answer, but it's the truth. I don't know that I'd change anything, Adam. There were things that weren't necessarily a whole lot of fun and I wasn't abundantly pleased by, but you know what? All of them got me here, and I love here. So I don't think there's anything I'd change.
Yeah, we're a little bit ahead right now, so I'm going to tell a little story about me.
Okay.
When I started my business in 2003 after I got my MBA, my original business was doing support work for training and development firms, meaning, for example, doing research for their presentations, collating results from employee surveys, and making recommendations. Yes, I was making recommendations 6 months out of MBA school for how teams of 300 working in support services for hospitals could increase their teamwork abilities. It's amazing how that works. I also did some research for a client, helping them develop their first book, and was involved in the launch. I didn't know anything about book launches, but surprisingly, it went pretty well. Sent out one email and just watched the money flow in, so to speak. Now, I've done a number of launches over the years, and sometimes they have that cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching effect, and sometimes you're waiting for that first blood. It takes 3 days to get there, and then once it happens, the floodgates open. It just takes that first person to jump to signal to the universe that everybody else needs to come with. Now, here's my story. Fast forward about a year and 4 months. During that time, I still had my day job, and I, in fact, gotten promoted diagonally. And I was still deciding whether I was going to climb the corporate ladder and still aim toward my goal, becoming a Fortune 100 training and development director, or if I was going to strike out full tilt with entrepreneurship. On a very miserable day in November, that decision was made for me when I discovered what a moron my boss's boss was. I don't care if she sees this. In fact, I hope she does. Anyway, I told my client, who's also my mentor, about this, and he told me that if I went into work that following Monday and quit, he would wire me $3,000 in PayPal. Now, not a loan, not an advance on services to be determined. It would be a gift. His selfish reason for doing so is it would liberate me from that job, and he and I could do a lot more stuff together. And it would enable me to build a business that could become a partner for his business. So he had a selfish motivation for it, and he told me so, and I agreed with it. Now, I didn't take him up on the offer, and I sat at that job for 8 more months. The simple reason is I didn't believe it. I didn't believe it was possible that somebody would do that, first off. And I had no reason, because he's one of the most trustworthy guys you'd ever meet, first. And second, I didn't believe that with $3,000 in the situation I was in, where I had basically no overhead on my life, that I could build a sustainable business within 60 days. Because I knew that if I left my job, I'd be cashing out my max on paid time off, which would basically amount to paychecks for 2 more months. I didn't believe it was possible. So I didn't know what I didn't know, and I didn't know what questions to answer. Why do I tell this story? Because I can't go back and change that. However, I can share these stories, and perhaps it inspires somebody else who's in the same situation. So we can't necessarily go back and change, and we don't know what the butterfly effect would cause. I've shared on many of these episodes the analogy, because I also like dystopian fiction and alternative history scenarios. That's my fun junk food reading. And a common theme is, and this goes back to a moral question that's frequently posed, if you had the opportunity to go back and kill Hitler, would you do it? It's easy to say, yes, we would absolutely do it. It would save millions of lives. But when I read these stories, there's a problem with that. For as demonic and evil as Hitler was, he was also incompetent. Yeah. He couldn't have won a war if his army was the only one that had the guns. So in these stories, you see that, yeah, they took out Hitler, but then somebody who was charismatic and actually knew what they were doing stepped into that role. He didn't create that. He simply organized it and gave it his own voice. It would have existed with or without him. So that's what I mean by the butterfly effect. You don't know that taking care of that one bad thing or that one bad day wouldn't actually cause many more bad days to come because of what would happen afterwards.
Okay, so you've made me think of something, Adam, which I'm thinking was
Oh,
probably the whole idea, right?
wow. Yes.
Man, I'm fast, right? Is I would learn to delegate right off the bat.
Okay.
I continued doing everything in my business for years, and it really held me back. It had me doing stuff that I was competent at, but not a genius at. So what I
Right.
would change is I would start delegating and hiring people immediately. And it didn't have
Yeah.
to be a whole team, but at least get started on that.
Here's what scares people about delegating is they think that, oh goodness, I'm right now making enough money so I get a paycheck out of this thing and cover my overhead. So I'm not even profitable, but I'm just making a living off of it. And they think, oh, if I pay somebody now, yeah, we all know that if you pay somebody to take 3 hours to do something that would take you 15 minutes, that actually is a rectification of the balance of time because your 15 minutes is worth more than their 3
That's right.
hours. Fair enough. What scares people is, oh, now I'm going to have this huge budget for overhead for team. No, start with one person, $500 a month. You'll be amazed what that will do.
I started with one person, 3 hours a week.
Yeah,
And it changed my whole business life.
it can just take. Yeah, if you can delegate 2 things off to them, just watch your calendar open. In my business, I manage 2 podcasts, and I have a third one's going to launch soon. My only role in these podcasts is to show up for the interviews.
Yep.
And for my other shows where we actually approve guests before they come on to vet them first. That's it. Everything else, including scheduling, comes from somebody else. So I hang out at Cigar Sharp a lot, and there are some guys there who subscribe to my podcast and listen to every episode. So I'll get there and they'll say, "Hey, I loved your podcast this week." And I'll say, "Cool, what'd you like about it?" And then they'll tell me. The reason why I deflect the question, because I don't know what episode was on. After I finish the episode, it goes to somebody else. They put it live when it fits in the calendar, unless there was a special request like, my book is launching on this date. Can you run your episode nearest to that? And if we can accommodate that, we will. But at that point, my relationship with that person has moved beyond the podcast. It's moved into social media. It's moved into one-on-one conversations. It's moved into us doing work together. It's moved into us being business allies. The handshake, which was the interview, is already done.
Yep. What you've just demonstrated is what I teach my people is work in your genius zone, because that's where you're gonna, it's best for you, but it's better for your clients too.
Yeah. Now, since we have a little more time, would it be okay if I revealed what I just did?
Sure.
And this is to inspire the aspiring podcasters out there. You were a guest who came on and were giving very short answers to questions. We found ourselves running really long on time. I use a tactic that we teach in our podcast reach system where I simply tell a story about myself and get you to react to it from a personal level. See what happened? Now we're actually right back on time, and it created a very dynamic experience for our listeners. So for those who are concerned about starting a podcast, and what if I'm not a great host, and what if I have a difficulty getting the content I need out of a guest? Well, not that I had difficulty with you. You're just giving really short answers, and our listeners can see that. But I managed, just by using a very simple tactic and the way I languaged it, to turn this into an amazing experience, which is one of my superpowers. So let's get back. So let's get back and finish your lightning round, shall we, Pat?
Sure.
What famous person, alive or dead, would you like to meet, and what questions would you ask him if you had the opportunity?
Robin Williams.
Okay.
I want to know his story. I would want him to tell me his story. Yeah, just tell me your story. And the other thing, my final question to him would be, what piece of your wisdom would you like all of us to know?
Yeah, he was a pretty inspirational guy. What motivates and inspires you to keep going when you're having a tough time or facing a challenge?
Well, my higher power for sure. I have a confidant that can say, okay, Pat, really, right? But the best thing, Adam, is when I see the work my clients are putting out into the world, they light up, they're going for it. That's the best thing in the whole world. When I can remember that, I am right back on target.
All right. So I know you have a special gift for our listeners, and I will share that with them. But in general, right now, what is one action you want our listeners to take as soon as they finish up here?
For the next 24 hours, what I want you to do is I want you to get out a sheet of paper or open a doc on the computer, and I want you to write down every single time you stand in your power around something, you hold your boundaries, or you speak up. And then right after that, plan ways to increase the number of times each day so that you're reinforcing what you're doing.
Wow, that's really powerful. So first of all, thank you so much for joining us today at Brilliance Plus Passion. And before everybody goes, I know you have a little something for us. So for all of our listeners, Pat has created a bit link for you. I'm going to say it out loud one time for those of you who are out jogging. Otherwise, come to brilliancepluspassion.com. Look at the episode. You'll see it in the show notes. It's bit.ly, so it's a bit.ly link, /397, capital L, capital P, capital D, lowercase p. Say that, go back and repeat that, or just come to the website and click the link. And what you're going to find there is the Be the Nucleus of Your Own Life scorecard. It's a tool for you to see exactly where you stand in the realm of fully living the nucleus of your own life. I strongly encourage you to download that and take it, and I believe you're going to get some great benefits from it. And with that, Pat Honiotes, thank you so much for being with us today. It's been an honor, and believe me, in education.
Thank you, Adam. It was fun being here. Thank you.
Thank you for tuning into the Brilliance Plus Passion podcast, where we celebrate entrepreneurs, business creators, and brilliant minds who are making a difference for their community, market, and audience. Remember to visit our website at www.brilliancepluspassion.com and enjoy even more great episodes like this one. Again, while you're here, subscribe to us via your favorite network. We look forward to seeing you next time on the Brilliance Plus Passion podcast.